What's up guys, Chicks here from Chicks Tech Reviews. Today I've got my hands on the brand new GBook Air. Now this is an affordable 13.3 inch Full HD notebook running Windows 10 Home. And today I'm going to do something which I've never done before. There is a special surprise for only 10 people somewhere in this video which you may not want to miss. So make sure you watch the entire video and best of luck to you all. Let's begin with a very quick unboxing. So this is everything you get in the box, beginning with your paperwork and user manuals in there. We've got a UK power adapter, output 12 volts. And last but not least, the GBook Air itself. So here it is guys, the GBook Air, and yes, it does remind me pretty much of the MacBook Air. I will put the specs on the screen so you guys can have a quick read. So on the front we have a 13.3 inch Full HD IPS display with a screen resolution of 1920 by 1080. Furthermore, you have the Intel Celeron 3350 CPU. It's a dual core combined with the HD 500 graphics. Now you've got 4 gigs of DDR3 RAM, 64 gigs of eMMC internal storage. You also have the option to add your own M2 SSD drive up to 512 gigabytes. Now there is a front 2 megapixel web camera. You've got built-in Wi-Fi BGN, Bluetooth version 4 and a fully licensed version of Windows 10 Home. Furthermore, this notebook has a 5000 mAh battery and you can expect to get around 9 hours of battery life depending on use. Now the notebook itself is made completely from metal, so very beautiful design, ultra premium quality. Now you can see the bottom looks just like the MacBook Air. It says GBook Air at the bottom, and even the writing over here is very reminiscent of the Apple products. If we open up the GBook Air, I nearly called it the MacBook Air there. So if we open up the GBook Air, you will see that even the bezels going all the way around are pretty nice and slim. So here's a quick side by side with the MacBook Air. Now both of these laptops will give you a 13.3 inch screen. You can see the GBook Air actually has thinner bezels and it's more low profile than the original MacBook Air. Very nice indeed. The build quality does feel very similar to the MacBook Air, and of course the keyboard and the trackpads are slightly different. So this notebook is made completely from metal with quite thin bezels, and this no doubt feels and looks very premium quality. Now this notebook itself weighs only 1.5 kgs and is only 13 millimeters thick. So a very nice ultra portable device. Build quality again feels great. You have quite a nice looking 13.3 inch Full HD IPS display, and the screen quality is quite bright with sharp colors and a great contrast. And the viewing angles are not bad. Now the keyboard itself looks and feels quite nice. You've got a good feedback from the keyboard. The keys do look quite similar to the MacBook Air. Nice keyboard to type on with a decent responsive touchpad. Now let's quickly go through all the ports. Now on the right hand side we have our DC power socket, followed by a 3.5mm headphone jack. We have a USB port and a microSD card slot. On the back of the laptop there is absolutely nothing apart from the hinge, and on the other side we have a micro HDMI port and also another USB 3 port. So let's see how this device handles Full HD streaming and gaming. So before we begin our test, let's have a quick look at all the system settings. So beginning with the system properties. So here are the system properties. You can see we've got 4 gigs of RAM, a 64-bit version of Windows 10 Home, and it's fully activated and ready for you to enjoy. That's the system properties. Let's quickly go and check out the system storage. So we have 64 gigs of internal storage, from which there are 57 gigs usable, and from that there are 44 gigs free to use. Now this notebook also has a spare M2 SSD slot, so you'll be able to install and upgrade the internal storage to a maximum of 512 gigabytes, and that's going to be additional to the existing 64 gigs. So it's quite awesome to have that feature. So I have attached a wireless mouse just to make it easier to navigate, and for the games I will be using the GameSir G4S, my favorite Bluetooth wireless controller. It also supports USB dongle, so if you don't want to use Bluetooth you can use the USB. So awesome controller, links are in the description if you want to check it out. Not only will it work on Windows, it's also the best game controller for Android. So first of all, let's do a YouTube video test. So you can stream a maximum of 4K, that's 2160p 4K on YouTube.
Space invasion, big car chase.
In 1969, a giant meteorite collided with the Earth, and it created...
What do you know about Walter?
Walter's our most senior soup. Best to keep an eye on him.
You know.
So we have a fully licensed and full version of Windows 10 Home with all the apps you would expect to find, and of course you can run any Windows application as normal. So this also comes with the latest Windows Store, giving you access to thousands of free games and apps, and also film and TV. So some great content there you can download. So we're going to begin with some basic games. So we have to remember that this has Intel graphics, so we're not looking at a gaming machine here, but you're perfectly capable of running basic Windows games. So as promised, here is that special surprise. We have 10 50% off discount codes on the screen for you right now. Now this code will knock down the price by 50% for this amazing laptop, and is only available to the first 10 people that grab one of these codes and enter it at checkout. They are single-use codes, so once it's used, you cannot use it again. Best of luck to you all, and I hope this helps some of you out there. So we're going to have a quick look at the SSD storage expansion port. So we've got one screw on this side. All you do is take this screw off. And once you take off the lid, you will see your M2 SSD slot just over there. If I just zoom in, all you do is slide the M2 card into this slot, and you can install a maximum of 512 gigabytes. So I'm quite happy to see that this is a very easy upgrade. You're just removing one screw and you will have access to the M2 SSD slot, and you can go ahead and install up to 512 gigabytes. Awesome stuff. And in the Wi-Fi speed test, we got download speeds of 9 megabits per second and upload speeds of 6 megabits per second. And the maximum broadband speed I am currently achieving is between 12 and 13 megabits per second. And in the Antutu benchmark test, we got a total benchmark score of 115,842. So let's see how that compares with the others. So here is my top performing Windows tablet and laptop chart for 2018, showing you the latest and greatest and seeing how they compare with each other. So all devices have been ranked by Antutu scores, and as you can see, the GBook Air has taken position 5 on this chart. You can view all my charts online at chigstech.com and read them at your leisure. So there you have it guys, that was the new GBook Air. So bottom line, a MacBook Air lookalike, which is ultra light and slim with thin bezels, great overall design, and I love the fact that you can easily add your own M2 SSD drive. The notebook offers a pretty good performance for the price and is perfectly capable as a web browsing and video streaming system, but also great for office work and light gaming. And if you were one of the lucky few who was able to grab that 50% off discount code, then you know you've just bagged yourself a real bargain. And with that being said, I will leave the links in the description so you guys can check this product out. That's all for this video, and if you would like to see more on-screen discount codes and surprises, then do hit the like button to let me know, and I will try and make that happen. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a brilliant day. See you in the next one, guys.